PA Power Wrestling with Lower Dauphin coach Kemal Pegram. Kemal, we were talking about District 3. You know, we used to have the Central Dauphins, Cumberland Valleys, and a lot of good teams, and they were 1, 2, like 6, 7 in the state.
Absolutely.
Things have changed a little bit, but, you know, it's come down a little bit, but there's a lot of depth. Teams that are just solid, kind of even all the way across the lineup.
Well, you know, for us, gone, like you said, are the days where, you know, we're seat number 1, number 2 in the finals. You know, but a lot of strong teams. You see that represented in the team district tournament. More so than anything else, I mean, for us, what we look at is colleges. I mean, look how many guys we have in colleges wrestling 1, 2, and 3. So parity is a lot more, I guess, even this year. You know, actually teams have a fighting edge against the Cumberland Valleys and your Central Dauphins, and now even your Cedar Cliff. So Exeter did a nice job. I mean, like, you know, Chambersburg's on our schedule. They're going to be tough. Gettysburg's a quality squad. So, you know, from year to year to year, you know, you still have your teams that are strong, but there's those outliers. Dallastown's another one. Manheim Central last year, you know, just the level of wrestling everywhere has improved tremendously.
Now, you've been at Lower Dauphin. What year are you in again?
This is my 6th year.
Now, you're building a program, and when you started, it was tough. Yep. How far has this team come? How far has this program come?
Well, you know, I wouldn't say we're building a program. I would say we're just taking us back to where we used to be. You know, if you remember, the last team that beat Central Dauphin before their glory days was Lower Dauphin. So we were down for a few years, as all teams are. But, you know, the culture's changing. Our elementary program's doing great. Our numbers are up in junior high. And, you know, we got a solid team. Much like other teams, you know, we always struggle with the depth and the balance from the top end to the bottom end. But, you know, as far as quality, you know, you guys talked to me before. I'm a Kool-Aid drinker. I'll put my team up against anyone in the state, and I will expect them to win. You know, some other teams prove me wrong, and that's not a bad thing. But we're not going to walk into any dual meet, you know, thinking we don't have a chance to win. You know, we got quality kids. You know, we got a quality program, and more importantly, we got a quality community.
Cedar Cliff won districts last year. They're in your division.
Yes.
They're the hunt. You're the hunter. They're
Absolutely.
the hunted.
Absolutely.
You got to be looking forward to that January 3rd match against them.
Yes.
How do you stack up against Cedar Cliff?
Well, you know, that's a quality program. There really aren't any weak links for them. So for us, we're going to have to be on our best, and we're going to have to catch them, you know, with a few breaks. You know, pound for pound, you know, on paper, maybe they're the more talented squad, but my guys don't believe that. My staff doesn't believe that. And more importantly, my kids don't believe that. So we have yet to beat them since I've been on the East Shore. But every time we wrestle them, you know, we really feel like, you know, we got a great shot at winning. It's tough to beat them at their place, and we're going to be heading back there this year. But, you know, because things are difficult does not mean that, you know, we're going to shy away from that challenge. You know, for me, from where I am in my career and where we are at LD, I mean, you know, we're not going to do the things that we think we can do until we beat Cedar Cliff. You know, we got to win your conference before you start talking about placing and doing anything at the state level.
Who are some of the guys that you really, in your lineup, that you really think are going to excel, maybe take that next step this year? And do you have any incoming guys that maybe we need to keep an eye on that we don't know already?
Well, it's preseason. We'd like to keep everything close to the vest. I mean, you know, our
I like it.
Our two studs speak for themselves. Clayton Ulrey and TTL Hodge. Clayton a little more successful last year than TT, but you know, we feel, you know, if there is a breakout year for a kid that took second in the districts, I mean, you know, TT's back better than ever. You know, we got a solid junior class that is going to definitely turn some heads. Guys put time in during the off season. More importantly, guys are believing themselves, and these guys now more so are wrestling for each other than they are for me or their parents or friends at school or whatever. So that's what's impressive. You know, when you don't even really have to get on kids because the guy next to them is getting on them, or the guy that's drilling with them is telling them to pick it up, or the guy doing sprints is challenging the guy next to him to pick it up. So that's what builds programs, and that's where we are. We don't need to mention any names or you know, give anybody anything to look forward to, but you'll be surprised at some of the names that do extremely well for us this year.
What needs to improve with this team to maybe be better than last year and maybe get past the Cedar Cliff, win the division?
Well, you know, everything starts and ends with belief. You know, everything starts and ends with believing you belong, and thinking positively. Been saying it as long as I've coached on any level. You know, our guys are supremely conditioned and they're going to be strong. You know, not giving up points on the edge of the mat or at the end of periods, fighting off our back and keeping kids on our back. I mean, those 4 areas, are going to be key. As I said earlier, parity's everywhere. Every team has a lot of good guys. As we found out more so in the last 2-3 years, those 1-point matches are the difference in dual meets. Your studs aren't the ones who win those dual meets. It's those guys, man, that maybe nobody knows or that come to the season or the sport late. I mean, those guys win dual meets. So we feel like our cast of characters is pretty strong, and we feel like they're pretty committed.
Kemal, thank you very much, and good luck this season.
All right, you got it, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Yep.